And so this guy is not certainly a person I'd want to associate if he wasn't rich and famous.
Hold that thought. I wouldn't, even if he were rich and famous, wouldn't want to associate with him. Well, this is Dr. Stan, and those of you who haven't read George Soros's talk last week, it was on the 28th of October at a conference put on by the Financial Times. It's covered on Prison Planet, Alex Jones' website. It's covered on a number of other websites. You need to get it. You need to read it, because basically he's talking about the organized, planned effort to impoverish the American people. These people are not, suddenly stupid. They know exactly what they're doing. They want to transfer our wealth to other countries. They want to impoverish our people because poor people who are first just struggling even to get enough money to eat will not oppose them. They know exactly what they're doing. They just don't want the American people to know. Until it's too late, they tell you, we're doing everything we can to save jobs. Well, yeah, they're doing everything they can to save jobs. Why are more people losing their jobs all the time? If they're doing everything to save homes, why are more people losing their homes? If they're doing everything they can to open up businesses, why is General Motors, which is 60% owned by the Obama administration, allowing General Motors to open new factories to produce jobs in China and in India and in Russia and Brazil? Why is that, ladies and gentlemen? Explain that to me, will you? Our telephone number is 1-888-24-LIBERTY, 1-888-24-LIBERTY, or 464-8295. And before we go on, Bob, I want you to get out your website. I want you to get out your telephone number. I want you to tell our listeners why they should subscribe to the International Forecaster, and we'll look forward to it every week, as I do. In fact, twice a week it comes, and it is the best source of information on what's going on. You'll read things there that you'll never read elsewhere. So put in a plug for your publication, Bob.
Well, the International Forecaster is about business, finance, economic, social, political issues all over the world. We publish via Internet on Wednesdays and Saturday. Runs around 40 pages each time. And we have a hard copy version, which goes out twice a month. The Forecaster, you can get a free introductory copy by going to one of three venues. The first, our site, the address, theinternationalforecaster.com. That's theinternational, FORECASTER.com. You can email us as well. We answer everybody's questions. And that address is BOB@INTFORECASTER.com, Bob@intforecaster.com, or you can call toll-free 800-375-4188. That's 800-375-4188.
And I certainly recommend it. You'll find it fascinating. Well, if you have a question for Bob, the telephone number 1-888-24-LIBERTY. 1-888-24-LIBERTY, or 464-8295 here on the Central Coast of California. We're simply talking about the collapse of the American economy, the planned collapse of certainly of Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers last year to precipitate this. And, of course, they timed the collapse of Lehman Brothers beautifully to elect Barack Obama, no question at all of that. And now the information is coming out that they do exactly what they were doing, but they didn't want the American people to know. They collapsed the price of oil. They created an atmosphere of fear. They told everybody that the economy had closed down. It hadn't closed down, but they wanted to make us believe it had closed down so everybody would panic. And it all has to do with psychology. And then they dropped the stock market precipitously, And of course, they play us today just as they're allowing the market to go up today, but it's all artificial. They have something called the Working Group on Financial Markets. They call them the Plunge Protection Team that manipulates the stock market, the price of oil and silver and commodities. In fact, you were right on your prediction this last week of what was going to happen to the price of gold, what was going to happen to the price of silver, and then the recovery. That was a great call.
Did you expect any less?
No, I didn't. Let's go to George calling from Santa Cruz. Hi, George. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Do you have a question for our guest?
Yeah, I have a question for Bob. He was talking about Bank of America and Ken Lewis quitting. I used to work for the bank, so I know a great deal about it. And I was wondering, since there seems to be a possibility the thing is going to declare bankruptcy, what should we do if we still have accounts in the bank?
Well, you can move to another bank, and I always recommend that people keep a minimum amount of money in banks, 3 months expenses for an individual and 6 months for a business. And other than that, you shouldn't have any CDs or any other kinds of things like that.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
And what you should do is take those CDs and open a brokerage account and sell the CDs and put the money into either Canadian or Swiss franc government bonds, which are treasuries, which are both AAA rated.
Okay.
That way you get taken out of the dollar and you get taken out of the system, so to speak, in the United States.
And that's going to be a good thing.
Yep.
And I can, all you have to do is email me, and I can send you to a broker in the United States who can buy those for you at a very, very, very low cost. Like most instruments today, they're yielding 1 or 1.5 or 2%, depending upon the length of time of the Treasury.
Yeah.
But 3-year paper will probably yield you probably 1.5%, and the paper that's further out probably something on the order of 3.5%. Say,
but isn't the Canadian dollar going up in value in comparison with the American dollar?
Well, it has been recently. We've had a little correction here. It's fallen from 97.5 back to around 92, which is a good time to do that. And all you're trying to do is keep your wealth together.
That's it.
And so for those who don't want to be in blue chip gold and silver shares or gold and silver coins or already have them, that's a good place to go.
Now, tell me, anything else you wanted to ask there, George?
Yeah, you said I could email you. What address should I email you at?
Bob, B-O-B, at INT, the short version of international, INT, Forecaster, FORECASTER.com. And I'll send you a name of a broker, and he'll take care of you, and the commissions are extraordinarily small.
Well, that's
good to know. It doesn't cost a lot of money to do it.
Thank you. You think there's a real chance the Bank of America actually is going to declare bankruptcy?
I was told that by a man who's an investigator who talked to one of the top people at a middle-sized to larger bank. And the word around the industry is that's why Ken Lewis quit. He didn't want to be on board when it went under.
And George, there was an article today in the Fierce Finance Meredith Whitney site. She's a pretty smart lady. And you would get, I'm sure, just go up on your search engine, put in Meredith Whitney, Bank of America bankruptcy, and I'm sure you can pull down the article. But it was on Fierce Finance today. I was shocked to think about Bank of America.
Did she actually say there was going to be a bankruptcy?
Oh, yeah, she said that.
And what's that website?
Well, I beat her to it by 2 days.
Fierce Finance.
FierceFinance.com? com, like that?
Well, you can do that, or Meredith Whitney, or both, okay?
Okay.
Meredith Whitney, Fierce Finance, and then, of course, Bank of America, bankruptcy. Okay, let's go to David calling from Fawnville, Ohio. And before we do that, what's the future of General Electric look like?